Hi, good morning. This is Amy Rafeka from Atlanta Wills and Trust Law Group, and we are here for Wills on Wednesday. Really excited today to talk about a topic that I talk about almost every day with my clients when I'm working with them on document signings. It's also a question I get repeatedly asked just kind of out and about when I'm around talking to people, and they either find out I do what I do wills and trusts, or longtime friends who know what I do, but are just kind of finally getting around to asking me the question. And the question is where do I store, where do I put these documents after I have finally made the emotional, financial, and time investment into getting an estate plan, whether that is an estate plan that is just, a will, which I'm not an advocate of, or an estate plan, which is the full set of documents that I believe everyone should have. Where do you put them? There's so many options of where you can put them and where you can store them in your life. And I think that there are several right answers to this question. Where do I store my estate planning documents once they're signed? And what do I do with them? And who do I tell about them? So many questions surrounding. So there are multiple right answers, and I do think there are some wrong answers. So let's talk about the wrong answers first and end this Wills on Wednesday episode with the right way to handle your really important documents, your estate planning documents. The wrong way is somewhere where they can be lost or damaged. So, for example, if you have them stacked on your desk, I kind of think that's a wrong way to put your documents. And the reason I say that is because I don't know about you, but I have a lot of stuff on my desk at home, a lot of paperwork, and certainly you don't want these documents to get lost in the shuffle. These are really important. They should be in a place where they come to mind exactly and they're separated from everything else. So putting them in the midst of a large stack of documents, wrong place. I also think, and I have had people mention to me that they have them in filing cabinets at home. Now, filing cabinets are usually fairly organized, and that's great, and that means that they're segregated away from other documents, but not all filing cabinets are secure, not all filing cabinets are waterproof, and not all filing cabinets will be around in the event that you have a small fire. So filing cabinets may not be the best option for your important estate planning documents. A better option than on top of your desk, but may not be the best option. Another option that I get presented with all the time about storing your estate planning documents and storing your will is a safe deposit box at a bank. Now, this is sort of a middle of the road. It's safe, it's secure, it's segregated, more likely than not protected from some sort of weather event, a catastrophic event, but banks aren't always open when you need them, and safe deposit boxes are kind of tough to get into for family members in the event that they need to access these documents. So I'm not a huge fan of safe deposit boxes for storing your really important estate planning documents. What am I a fan of then? Well, I'm a really big fan of, one, having a safe, a small safe at home somewhere, or somewhere where you have that's safe and secure that you can bolt it to the ground. I am a really big fan of that, and putting your estate planning documents in there. So if you store your estate planning documents in the safe at home, I get the question a lot of, well, what happens if the safe is stolen? Well, you're right. What happens if the safe is stolen? So you should have a backup plan for your documents. Now, as an attorney, I do not keep originals. Some attorneys do keep originals and provide their clients with what they call conformed copies or copies of the documents. And typically, at least for the will, that is an unsigned version of the will that's clearly identified as a copy. And then copies of the other documents, the financial powers of attorney, the healthcare power of attorney, and the living will, signed copies. of those documents. I do not keep originals for my clients. I believe that our society is so mobile and we move around so much, and my office isn't always going to be open at night if they need to access those documents. So I provide my clients with their originals, and I keep a digital version of their documents. So there's a backup for my clients. In fact, I also provide them a scanned version of their documents on a CD. So there's 2 or 3 backups to their estate planning documents. So just have a plan. Just like we're making a plan, you've invested emotionally in it, have a plan. The next question that I get a lot from folks is, do I give copies of everything to my kids or to the people who are going to be an executor or a power of attorney? Not a fan of copies of wills. Not a fan. Let me reiterate. Not a fan of making a copy of your will. Why? Because if you ever change your will, you need to make sure, A, that the copies have those amendments attached to it, and B, if you completely do away with the old will, revoke the old will, in legal speak, you got to find every single copy and destroy them. You must destroy all old wills once you sign a new one. So you don't want there to be an opportunity for anyone in your family to present an old version of a will, and then you have 2 wills. They don't really automatically know which is the correct will. So I am not a fan of making a copy of a will. So let me say that again. No copies of wills. No copies of the signed will. So what do you do? How do you tell your children that you've done this if you want them to know? And if you've got them in the safe and you're not allowed to give them a copy of the will, then what do? Well, I'm a huge advocate of providing your children knowledge that you've done this and knowledge of how to access those documents in the event of an emergency. So I'm a huge advocate of either give them the code to the safe if you have a trusted relationship, or let them know how to find the code to the safe if you're comfortable. Now, some of my clients don't want to do either of it, and that's up to them. Again, there's no right answer for every single person. It's dependent on, your relationships with your family, your relationships with those people that you've named. But typically, if you put someone in a trusted role in your estate planning documents, then you can also at least trust them, A, with the knowledge that you've created a plan, that they're in a position where they may need to step in and help you, and B, they're trusted enough in your life that you can give them access at least to the knowledge of how to find the code to get into the safe, to pull out that packet of information that they're going to need in order to help you. So again, there are wrong answers. Just to recap, wrong answer on top of your desk in the middle of a pile of other documents. Wrong answer. I even believe, again, this is my opinion, my professional opinion, wrong answer to store them in a random filing cabinet in your home that is not locked, that is not safe, at least minimally safe against environmental impact. Several right answer. Oh, wrong answer. Safe deposit boxes. Not a fan of safe deposit boxes. Right answer, on the right answer spectrum, a safe in your home. I'm a huge advocate of a safe in your home, a lockbox in your home. Maybe you can bolt it to the floor, and then provide the information to access or information on finding the code to access to those that you love and trust the most, who you have named in your plan to be the executor or personal rep or be your power of attorney. So that's what my Wills on Wednesday is about today. It's really just about finding that perfect place to store your documents after you've committed to emotionally and financially and time-wise investing in an estate plan to protect yourself and to protect your family. This is Wills on Wednesday. Attorney Amy Refecka signing off. If you have questions or comments, then please leave them. Reach out to us at team@refecalaw, TEAM @refecalaw, REFECALAW.com. We'd love to hear about what you would like to hear on Wills on Wednesday.